Welcome to the fourth episode of the Football Forum, brought to you by the Bucyrus Telegraph-Forum. I'm Joey Chandler, and as always, Dan Messerschmidt and Henry Conti will join me at the end of the show to break down the key NCC games of the week. Henry traveled to Galion for a very hard-hitting technique of the week, and I stopped by to chat with Colonel Crawford coach Ryan Teglovic about his Eagles' 3-3 season. We're here at Colonel Crawford High School, and joining me is Eagles head coach Ryan Teglovic. Ryan, you guys are off to a 3-3 start. I know you struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year, having lost some key personnel, but it seems that everyone is back. You've got a young quarterback in Nate Klingenberger back. How do you feel like that's kind of affected the attitude or maybe the confidence of the players heading into the last half of the season?
Yeah, I think that once we do have everybody back, and once we're back here for a week or so, I think that our attitude, our confidence will be certainly better. I feel like we've played pretty good football over the last few weeks. We ran into a good Galion team last week. It seems as though every week, since about week 3, we've been adding personnel. So we've been adding probably 2 or 3 guys at that point, just from injury and other things. And sometimes there's a bit of a learning curve when you add guys, and they go out there and get their first experience on a Friday night. So I think at least now all of the guys that we projected as possibly being starters have at least gotten in a game and started the game. And Nate, his first game last week, and I thought he did a pretty good job for his first week. And I would expect him to make a huge improvement between week 1 and 2.
You're heading into 0-6 Bucyrus, their homecoming night Friday. What do you guys have to expect? And I know they haven't won yet, but do you still feel like that's definitely a team teams need to watch out for?
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're one of those football teams. Before the year, as I'm looking at them, I think this is a good football team. This is a football team that could be better than what they were the year before. I mean, they have some key components back. They have a starting quarterback back from last year who's a good player. They have guys in the backfield. Howard, who has a lot of experience. From last year, they have some guys up front that Agler and the center, and some other guys that they have a lot of experience from last year. So they have playmakers on both sides of the ball, and I look at some of the things that they've done offensively, and then they've had some success. They've moved the football against good football teams. So it's a team that I think is a solid football team. I think it's a team that's going to win some football games.
Coach, thanks for joining us. And now we're going to head out to Galion for Henry and the Technique of the Week.
We're here in Heisey Park at Unkrich Stadium with Galion coach Chris Hawkins. Coach, when you watch football and you watch the pros, tackling seems to be a lost art form. How do you make sure on Friday nights that you guys are doing it right?
We picked something up a few years ago and kind of tweaked it to fit our own liking, but we call it reverse progression tackling. We also, something we got from New Orleans Saints is called a strip drill. And this is stuff, it's not a big deal, but it's something we do 3-4 minutes every day pre-game. And so we call it reverse progression and strip drill, and we think that it definitely adds to one person tackling or open field tackling.
All right, Coach, well, introduce your players and show us how it's done.
2 football players here are 2 of our 3 linebackers, and on the left is Antonio Burkett. He's a junior, and on our right is Nate Cass. He's a junior. And now we're going to do what we call reverse progression. The first step is, what we try to do is tell our players to focus on the size of a dime on the football. Okay? Everybody tells them to find the football, but we want to try to zero in on the football and get to something like the size of a quarter. So once we do that down that, okay, bend a little bit, Antonio. Okay, then we tell them to get toe to toe. The first step of reverse progression is just lock. So all we're going to do is just work on lock. Ready? Hit. Okay, do it again. Hit. Okay, what we tell them to do is lock and grab cloth. One more time. Hit. Okay, then after the next step, after reverse progression, is lock pop. And this is what you often fail to see at certain tackles, and this is why there's a lot of missed tackles. Everybody wants to hit, but they don't want to lock and pop their hips in. What we try to do is tell them to bring their hips in like there's a hot iron on their rear end and bring those hips in. This is called pop. So we're going to lock, pop, hit. Okay, one more time. Hit, lock, pop. Okay, now the next step that we do is we tell them to put the nose in the football. We're already locked up. We're grabbing cloth. We're taking our right foot back. This is just our step pop phase. Hit, step pop. One more time. We're going to step in and pop the hips in. Hit. Good. Now the next step, our hands are to the side. What we try to do, we tell them to come in. We don't want to come in like an eagle. We want to come in like a dumpster and actually curl them. So the hands are going to come in tight. This step is step, lock, pop. So they're going to step in, lock, and pop their hips in. Hit! One more time. Hit! Step, lock, pop. Okay, now we go hands to the side. Toe to toe, toe to toe, right foot back. Now we're going to step, lock, pop. Hit! Step, lock, pop. One more time. Hands to the side. Hit! Step, lock, pop. Good. Now we're going to take step, lock, pop. But we're not driving. Hit! Step, step, lock, pop. Bringing those hips in. Now our last phase is where we're going to get back 3 steps, and we're going to step, 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 lock, pop, and now we're going to drive them backwards because we really focus on, we don't want them falling forward. If they fall forward, that's an extra 2-3 yards. So we want to do everything we just did, but keep our feet moving and drive them back. So this is step, 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 lock, pop, drive. Ready, hit! Step, step, lock, drive, 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 good. Let's go 5 yards apart, guys, okay? He's going to be, now, right there. Now, all we're going to do is going to we do that first. Now he's just going to be going, he's going to be going left, ball's his left hand. We teach him to use what we just did. Wait a sec for Antonio. What we just did, but now we're talking about doing him on the move. He's getting his head across, and we're going to do all those phases we just talked about. Ready, half speed, ready, hit! Go, boom, 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 go. Okay? And then again, the big coaching point here is not everything we just talked about, but what we want to try to do is get the nose in the football. If we put the nose in the football, that football runner is going to have to run through us and not just arm tackle. Okay, here we go. Sit, hit! Come across, step back, drive, 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 drive. Good. Well, the last thing what we do is focus after our tackling. We want to cause turnovers. So we got this from the New Orleans Saints. Okay, so he's going to, let's go, you want to go left hand. Okay, we have 3 methods to try to pop the ball loose. First of all, what we try to do is, if it's a one-on-one tackle, we want you to just do what we just demonstrated there. But if it's an open field tackle and you're chasing them down, or we also do this where we have a first hit already there and you're the second hit. So this is either we're chasing somebody down here, or the first hit's already there and the second hit's coming. The first way we teach to strip it is we're going to call a punch. We're going to sit there and we're going to try to punch up through it. Okay, half speed. Ready, hit! Good. Okay, bring it back. Ready, hit! Okay. Okay. Next method we call it the club. Now they're going to try to club down and try to strip the ball loose. Ready, hit! Good. Ready, hit! Third method we teach to try to strip the ball loose is what we call the lawnmower. They're going to sit there and grab the football, and they're going to rip the football and the hand back, like starting a lawnmower action. Ready, hit! Yeah. And those are ready, hit! Those are the 3 methods that we do strip drill, and it's been very successful for us. And again, our defense has kind of been a strength, and we are doing well on turnovers. So hopefully this is kind of helping us on the field Friday night.
Joining me here at the Bucyrus Athletic Complex are Dan Messerschmidt and Henry Conti. Dan, we've talked about this a lot. Bucyrus still struggling heading into Week 7, but it is the Redmen's homecoming. What sort of game do they have to have on Friday to at least play even with a Colonel Crawford team who's had a good stroke of luck lately?
Well, it was a difficult loss at Lucas last week. They did move the ball well, however, and just struggled to get the ball into the end zone when they got to the red zone. So I think they're going to have to do a better job of that to be able to, and do it early, I think, to be able to hang around with Colonel Crawford Eagles team that is improving, and they've got all their players back now, so there'll be a difficult task for them.
Henry, you're seeing 2 teams you're pretty familiar with this season in Buckeye Central, Crestline.
Yeah, Buckeye Central 5-1. Crestline started out 3-0. Well-documented early success, well-documented problems. They're 3-3 now. Buckeye Central really controlled the end of the game last week, giving it to Michael Adkins, who just bowled through the defense. He was nothing short of amazing to watch in that fourth quarter, getting the ball on every play but one. Crestline's going to have a very tough task trying to keep him and that potent passing game under control. This one goes to Buckeye Central pretty easily, I think.
Talk about a team having a tough task. I'm traveling up to Upper Sandusky to the Winford game. The way they handled Ontario last Friday, people thought that was going to be a lot closer game than it was. It wasn't that the Warriors played bad. It's just that Winford's defense was smothering them. They did a great job controlling a pretty explosive offense. I also think that over at Galleon against Riverdale, you're probably going to see Galleon have an easy win as well. And that's your leaders in the Black Division NCC, and quite frankly, until they play each other, I don't see anyone coming close to either of those teams the rest of the season.
Yeah, nobody's going to be surprised if either Winford or Galleon put up 60 points this week.
If you do want to see how many points they put up, be sure to follow us on Twitter or check out the Saturday edition of the Telegraph-Forum. Thanks for watching.